Welcome everyone. Today we are excited to present our web-based version of the iconic game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, created by us, the team Flash Coders. Our project brings the thrill of the game show to your browser, accessible from anywhere in the world. So we are a team of two, myself and Sylvia, and I'm a chief programmer and designer, and my teammate is a developer and tester. And the big idea was simple yet ambitious. We all love the game Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? On the television. But not everyone gets to play that. So we recreated the popular quiz game in the browser environment. We wanted to make it a playable by anyone, anywhere, on any modern browser. So turning our concept into reality meant breaking the project into several modules. So we had to design the game flow, handle user sessions, validate user inputs, render questions dynamically, and manage the leaderboard. Every part of the project had to work together smoothly. We built this game using core web technologies like PHP, HTML, and CSS, and no frameworks or JavaScript were used as per the project requirements. Our aim was to keep it simple, secure, and functional while delivering an enjoyable experience. Let me walk you through the core mechanics that make our game engaging and functional. First, we have user registration and login. Players begin by creating a username or logging in if they are already played. This step personalizes the experience and allows us to track scores individually. So the next segment is the heart of the game. 5 escalating questions. Each correct answer advances the player to a more challenging level, increasing the virtual prize money, just like the real show. Then we have a unique feature, voluntary quitting with point deduction. Players can choose to quit game anytime, but it comes with a twist. The scores get reduced based on how far they got. This adds a layer of strategy to the game. And finally, a real-time leaderboard. Scores are saved and displayed live, motivating players to beat the top scorers and try again. Now let's take a quick look at what's happening under the hood. The technology is powering the game. So if we see the first block, the user interface, which is built using HTML and CSS. This is what the player sees and interacts with from the welcome screen to the final results. So the next module is the authentication module, which is handled by PHP. This part manages user login, registration, and session tracking to ensure every player has personalized experience. So the next one is the game engine, also written in PHP, take care of core logic and scoring. It processes on each answer, calculates winnings, and handles special actions like quitting. And the final one is the leaderboard module, which dynamically displays the top scoring users using data stored in a text file. This adds real-time competitiveness and motivation. Altogether, these four components work seamlessly to create a smooth, functional, and interactive experience from first click to the final result. So here is a glimpse of our architecture. So the home page has the user registration, login, and we can able to see the leaderboards. So the main path is split into these three different paths. So if we go with the registration page, if the registration is successful, the user is directly redirected to the game page where he can play the game, or else, if he is an existing user, he can go to the login page, and after the login is successful, he can go to the game page and play the game. So, in the last module is the game page, where after the completion of the game, he can go to the leaderboard. Now, my friend Sylvia and my teammate will explain the game application in detail.
So this is the landing page of our game Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, designed to provide an immersive first impression to users. The page acts as a central entry point where players can register, login, or view the leaderboard. We focused on user experience and visual appeal to match the luxury and excitement of millionaire themed quiz game. We chose a dark gradient background to mimic a stage spotlight feel, enhanced by gold gradients to represent wealth and prestige. This combination gives the page a modern yet premium look. The animated logo is displayed at the center, surrounded by soft glow using CSS box shadow. It sets the mood for the game. Buttons use a gold gradient with subtle shadow and a hover scale effect for interactivity. Each button is large, legible, and clearly labeled. Register for new user, login for returning players, leaderboard to see high scores. All interactive elements are styled to be highly visible and accessible. We are we have avoided clutter to maintain a minimalistic design, allowing users to focus on the game content. If the user clicks on register, this page will open. For this, we have created two files, register.php for UI design, same as the main page. Here we have one text field to enter a username and two button, one to submit and another to log in if you have already registered. Start reg.php handles new player registration for our Millionaire game. It ensures usernames are valid, unique, and securely stored. We first check if the player submitted a username using the post form. If it's missing or only contains spaces, we redirect them back to the registration page with an empty error. We use the trim method to remove any leading or trailing spaces for the username to ensure consistent comparisons and storage. Then we store the username and score in the data.txt file. Also, if the username exists, we read each line and check whether the username is already taken. If a match is found, the user is redirected with an exist error. If the username is unique, we append it to the data.txt with a starting score of 0. If stored, we store the username in a cookie so it can be retrieved on later pages like during the game. Finally, the player is redirected to the start of the game. If the user clicks on login, this page will appear and the player can enter their username and submit. For this, we have created two files, login.php for UI design and startlog.php, which handles login request for returning player. It checks if the player's username exists in the system, sets a cookie, and start the game if verified. We start by reading the entire data.txt file into a string. This file stores all registered player and their score in the format username score. We capture the submitted username from the login form. For each user in the file, we split the line by the comma to get the username and score. We compare the stored username with the submitted one. This check is case sensitive, so if no match is found in the file, the player is redirected back to the registration page to create a new account. If user is found, then a cookie is created to store the player name for the future access, and the player will redirect it to the game start page. After logging in or registering before the game begins, users see this page with a start button. It gives the player heads up that the game is about to begin. It clears old session data, reset the score to 0 and provide a clean start for the player. First, we start a session, immediately destroy it to clean any old data and then restart a clean session. This ensures that every time a player lands on the page, they get a fresh start, no lingering score or straight from the previous game. Then we set a session variable. The UI shows the logo image, a welcoming header, and a start button that links to question1.php, the first quiz screen. The player doesn't need to manually log in again here. Their session and cookie are already set during login or registration. Now this is where the action happens. Each question appears with 4 options and only one is correct. Also, the player has the option to quit the game anytime with a certain amount of money depending on the player's progress, like which level they are on. We begin by starting a session and initializing the player money to 0. This ensures every game start clean. We check if the user submitted the form. If so, we store their selected answer and then check if the answer is correct or not. If the answer is correct, we award $1,000 and move to the question 2. If it's wrong, we redirect them to the wrong answer screen. On question 1, if the player quits, they are redirected to the result page and earn 0. We have get glow class. We have used get glow class, a function that helps highlight the selected answer in green for correct and red for incorrect using dynamic CSS classes after submission. Based on answer correctness, the user is automatically redirected to the next screen with a slight delay. This screen will display and highlight the correct answer in green. The player will move on to the next question. Also, we are saving player progress in the data file so that on the leaderboard, the player can see their score if their score exists in the top 10. And this screen will display and highlight the wrong option in red. We also show a message that the answer is wrong and the correct one is this. Here as well, we save player progress in the data file so that on the leaderboard, the player can see their score. Okay, so this page is displayed when the player selects an incorrect answer. It updates their score in the database, which is a text file, shows how much they won, and gives option to play again or view the leaderboard. We start the session to retrieve the user score and use file function to load each line from the data file into an array. The file holds player data in the format username comma money. We grab the current player's name from a cookie and their current money from the session. If these aren't found, we default it to an empty string and $0. If a line matches and current with the current username, we replace it with the updated score. Otherwise, we keep it unchanged. We write the updated data back to the data.txt. Each player remain in the file, but only this one has an updated money value. Try again, restart the game, and leaderboard show all the player and their scores. Players can quit the game anytime if they are unsure of their answer and take home a specific amount of money. If they quit, this screen will display. They can either try again or check the leaderboard. With the help of cookies and session variable, we save their progress and update the leaderboard. So this is the final screen of the game, whether the player quits early or win the top prize. This page shows their final earnings and update their score in the database, which is a text file. If the user didn't win the full million, we give them a try again option. Regardless of outcome, they can view the leaderboard. We begin by starting the session to access the user's stored game state. We define a helper function, update player money, to update the player's best score in the text file data.txt. The max function ensures that we do not write a higher previous score with a lower one. If the player record is found in the file, it's updated. If not, a new record is added. A looping theme song and animated confetti elements help create a celebration effect for the final page. This page displayed the top score of the players sorted from highest to lowest. It reads from a text file data.txt that stores each player's name and score. We created a leaderboard manager class to separate logic from for reading and sorting leaderboard data. This makes the code more modular and easy to maintain. The get leaderboard data method check if the file exists, reads and clean each line, splits each line into player name and score, escape output with HTML special character for security, sorts by score using usort, highest first, sorting the leaderboard ensure the player with the highest score appear at the top. The score is formatted with number format for currency styling. Also, user can navigate back to the home page by clicking on back to home. Now let's talk about how we use CSS to enhance the user experience for our quiz game. We adopted a modern high contrast color palette, mainly deep violet, black and gold, which gives our interface a rich and premium game show feel. In our general layout, we focused on a minimalistic structure and elegant touches like gold accent buttons, soft box, shadows and smooth hover transition. The login and menu pages are glowing elements and gradients that reinforce the fun yet professional theme. We also added confetti effects using pure CSS animation to celebrate a player's win, making success feel rewarding and memorable. In our question pages, we included a subtle animated background with a GIF to make the quiz visually dynamic. The question options are styled with large readable text, and the answer boxes are bold gradient and hover effects for engagement. To improve usability, we created a glow feedback system for correct and wrong answer. Green and red glowing borders make the result instantly clear. Everything is responsive across devices, so it can run on all the devices and resize automatically for mobile user. Overall, our CSS turned a basic quiz into a visually immersive experience. Now my teammate Gautam will explain you a bit more about our project and also give you a demo of our game.
Okay, now we'll go with the demo. So this is the home page of our application where the user can register, see the leaderboard, or login. So I'm a new user. I'll go to register. Let's say my name is Gautam and I use a space. So since the username is already existing, I need to log in. Let's check that. Yeah. Since the Gautam username has capital G in it, it throwed and it throwed out and asked me to register again. So let's go with another username, Gautam1, and submit it. So this username is also existing. So we can go, or we can test another case where we can use simple spacebar and submit it. So it cannot be empty or a white space. So now I'll go and register with a valid username. That's two and submit it. Since the user registration is successful, I can start the game right away. So I'll start the game. So which of these is not typically classified as a citrus fruit? Or apple it is, and I'm submitting it. So the correct answer. So next question, what does the internet prefix www stands for? The answer is World Wide Web, I think. So if you see, if I'm hovering over through the buttons, so we have an animation glowing things, and for the submit button as well. So let's submit this. It's a correct answer. Okay, let's explore this case. I don't know the answer and I want to quit. So I will quit at $10,000. So I'll select this option and I'll submit it. So the background and the conflict animations are visible. So I made it with $10,000. Now I can try again or go to the leaderboard. So let's go to the leaderboard. And here is the leaderboard where Gautam 2 scored $10,000. So I can go back home and I want to log in again with Gautam 2 and submit it. And I can, since I'm able to log in, I can start the game again. So I'll go over Apple, submit it. So let's now take the wrong answer for the second question. So web world window and submit it. So this is the wrong answer. I won $0 and I will check the leaderboard again. So now the Gautam 2 score is not visible because the score is dynamically changed. And since 0 is not in the top 10 of the existing users, so my score got not is not visible. Let's go back home, log in again, and this time we will win the game. So the first question answer is Apple. And this one is World Wide Web. Let's see the third question. Who painted the famous artwork The Starry Night? It's Vincent van Gogh. Submit it. What is the smallest prime number that is also a palindrome? It's 2. I'll submit it. So this is the last question. So in computing, what does the acronym JPEG stands for? It's Joint Photographic Experts Group, and I'm submitting this. So I won the game. I won the $1 million, which is the virtual money. Since I won the game, there is no need to try again. So let me check the leaderboard again. So now Gautam 2 won $1 million. So there is an option for me to go back. And if I want to see my leaderboard results, I can go to the leaderboard. And here I can see my name is still here with the $1 million that I won virtually. So this is a glimpse of our project so that every user can play and enjoy. So we've conducted thorough testing to guarantee a flawless experience. We did the cross-browser testing to guarantee compatibility across Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. We did functional testing, which helps us fix bugs, like once where the leaderboard was not showing the updated score, and we fixed it before the launch. This ensured a smooth and fair experience. We followed an agile approach. Using Kanban boards, we visualized our tasks and tracked progress. Daily stand-ups helped us align and resolve issues early. Our biggest takeaway was communication and planning make all the difference. We communicated daily about our progress, issues, and planning. That's a wrap up of our project. We hope you enjoyed the look inside our version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We're proud of what we built and the teamwork it took to make it happen. Thank you for your attention and feel free to try the game. Thank you for playing.
Thank you.